In a country still healing from the wounds of corruption and capture, a single sentence can ignite a storm. The arrested man is a friend of the Minister of Police. Words spoken quietly, in a commission room echoing with history. For years, South Africa has asked one question: who really holds power? Is it written in the Constitution or whispered in the corridors of influence? From Soweto's streets to the marble halls of Parliament, the line between justice and loyalty has never been thinner. This is not just about one arrest. It's about the invisible hand that decides who falls and who is protected. Tonight, Border Files investigates what happens when friendship, power, and fear collide inside South Africa's justice system. In a nation built on truth and reconciliation, silence has become its loudest defense. Katiso Malef, a businessman with alleged links to criminal networks, was arrested earlier this year in an operation led by the Hawks. It was supposed to be a routine bust, but what happened next turned a police file into a national scandal. Captain Maxwell Wanda, a seasoned officer, testified before the commission that during the arrest, Malef's own bodyguard, Lahasa Malloy, said something extraordinary: that Malef was a friend of Police Minister Senzo. Under oath, Wanda confirmed it without hesitation. No anger, no agenda, just facts. In South Africa, the friendship between a suspect and a minister isn't just gossip, it's a political earthquake. Because it challenges the very idea of independence, the promise that no one is above the law. For decades, the line between politics and policing has blurred. From apartheid's security apparatus to the era of state capture, power has often decided which cases live and which quietly die. South Africa ranks 41 out of 180 on Transparency International's 2025 Corruption Index. So when a bodyguard hints at a friendship powerful enough to bend justice, people listen, because South Africans have seen this pattern before. The morning of Malef's arrest was unremarkable until it wasn't. Sources describe a calm operation, swiftly executed. But soon after, the whispers began. Why did certain officers seem uneasy? Why did some files vanish from the evidence chain for days? In the corridors of justice, power often travels faster than paperwork. Because he's a friend of the Minister of Police, Malloy said. It wasn't a threat, it was a statement. A reminder that in South Africa, connections can be stronger than convictions. Captain Wanda admitted he took it lightly, but South Africans didn't. The clip went viral. Talk radio lines lit up, and the question spread like wildfire. Was Malef being protected or betrayed? Block 2. Power, loyalty, and the police. The South African Police Service has long been at the intersection of power and politics. From the collapse of the Scorpions to the controversial tenure of Becky Cella, policing has been less about crime and more about control. Insiders say the real battle isn't in the streets, but in the offices where orders are given and investigations quietly disappear. When ministers become friends with suspects, or when officers feel they must protect names, that's when democracy begins to corrode. The Commission now faces the impossible task of separating fact from fiction, loyalty from legality. Behind every scandal lies a structure, a web of influence woven over decades. Investigators describe a culture of protective proximity. Officials, business people, and police forming quiet alliances of mutual survival. It's not always about money. Sometimes it's about favors. Sometimes it's about silence. And in a country where political careers depend on loyalty, silence often sounds like obedience. That's why Malef's alleged connection with Minister Senzo matters, not just for the case, but for what it reveals. How the machinery of justice can be slowed, redirected, or stalled entirely by personal ties. For For ordinary citizens, these stories are more than politics. They're survival. When people see ministers' friends walk free while petty thieves rot in cells, faith in the system collapses. We're told no one is above the law, but every year, someone floats above it, untouched. Corruption isn't just about money. It's about dignity. It's about who gets justice and who gets ignored. As the commission digs deeper, new witnesses emerge. Some claim internal pressure to stay silent. Others hint that the web goes far beyond one minister. If proven true, the Malef Senzo case could reopen painful questions about South Africa's post-apartheid promise that truth and transparency would guide the nation's rebirth. But maybe the real question isn't whether Malef and Senzo were friends. It's whether friendship itself has become the new currency of justice. South Africa stands at a crossroads between the ideals it fought for and the realities it now faces. The Malef Senzo story isn't an isolated scandal. It's a mirror. It reflects the fragility of institutions meant to protect the people and the courage of those who still dare to speak. For every Captain Wanda who testifies, for every officer who refuses to look away, there's a glimmer of hope that the truth, however painful, still matters. Because in a country where silence once hid injustice, perhaps speaking, even softly, is the bravest act of all.